Good evening, Facebook friends and everyone out there on the interwebs, as we like to call it. Alex here along with
Janine.
And Brandon behind the camera. And welcome to, at this point I've lost track, week...
The millionth episode, guys. It's been such a long journey.
Yes. We've just gotten a word from Network that we've been extended for a couple more episodes.
Season 2, guys, is going to be amazing. Wait for the finale.
Big cliffhanger.
Big cliffhanger.
Yes. Anyway, good evening to everybody. Thank you for joining us for another virtual hard hat tour here at the Historic Egyptian Theater in downtown DeKalb. Even though we are closed due to COVID, we are still making great progress with our expansion here and excited to bring the progress from the last week.
Yeah, you know, COVID had me, I was actually looking at a different job. I was going to be a physical trainer, but they said I wasn't strong enough, so they gave me a 2-week notice.
Boo.
I think that was meant to be a cheer, but that's fine.
Yes, so as we go through our tour, if you have any questions, comments, better jokes than Janine's, go ahead and...
That's quite a challenge to accomplish.
Go ahead and comment below. Thank you again for joining us. So we are here on the first floor. I'll let Brandon kind of pan back out to give you reference. Those are the front doors out on 2nd Street. Gorgeous day outside. And so we're in the rear lobby here, and the biggest thing that's happened in the last week is they are finishing up these coves. And we've talked about this for a couple of weeks now, and at this point, all of the ornamental plaster cove is now up, and we pointed out last week kind of the really fine detail of patching the screw holes, the seams, the corners. And I would say they are about 90% complete. So they are hoping to be done down here this week and moving officially upstairs with plaster. They have just a couple more things to finish down here. So absolutely amazing to watch the progress down here. And Janine, you got the chance to actually help mold that. Can you talk a little bit about what that process was like and putting this together?
A lasting impact on the Egyptian Theater. No, it was really cool. So I got to work with Jeff with the plaster guys, and he walked me through step by step of how to mix the plaster, which then you laid down on the butter mold, technical term, guys, and slathering it all on, then putting hemp grass to give it more structural integrity, and how to put the next layer of plaster on and to hide all of these little bits of plaster of the hemp grass so there's not little fibers sticking out like beep, beep, beep. So it was really cool because he was able to show me how you can make, it looks like this on the back side. It doesn't look as perfect as these, as the imprint does. So it was really interesting to hear someone who's been doing this type of artistry for over 25 years and how you get these seamless edges. But then, you, like Alex was saying, you have someone come in and fill in the little gaps, fill in the screw holes. Because when it comes off, when you're peeling off that butter mold, I don't have a better term, it really does look like how it came out. There's very few imperfections, at least on mine, because guys, come on.
Yes.
But no, it was really interesting to see how they spray it down with like a soapy water so it doesn't stick. It comes out of there really nice, and how quickly you have to move, because it really does set quite fast. You start to feel it getting harder and forming into that mold right away. So you have to move really quick, and it gets really hot. So you're seeing chemistry in action, which is really cool. So I don't know which one's mine. Whichever one looks the best, that's the one I did. We'll go with that. So pretty exciting.
So beyond that, down here, the first floor concessions is really coming together.
Yeah.
We can see the popcorn machine has been unwrapped, demummified, and it is, Brandon and Janine have been trying to get it up and running this afternoon. They are so eager for a batch of popcorn. I think that may happen here after this tour. So we're so close. We want to get some popcorn popping.
Say, trying is the operative word.
Yes.
This
one's a little more sophisticated, a little more fancy.
It's the things that are giving us pause right now are actually the parts that we really like. So we have a bag and a box of oil, so it's all nicely contained. We used to have these big drums of oil that was stored in the back storage room. So if we ran out in the middle of a show, we're trying not to take people's, ankles and shins out as we're walking out with this big drum of oil. So now it's nicely contained in this box. We hook it up, it's all primed. We're working on setting the amount of oil that goes into the kettle. So we just push it, set it, forget it. And actually, as Brandon's showing, it has the ability to do kettle corn along with regular popcorn. So we were trying kettle corn first because we have sweet teeth. So we're really excited. We can't wait to pop it and give you a full report on how good our new popcorn tastes.
And stay tuned. We are looking into possibly selling bags of popcorn, sealed bags of popcorn, right here from the Egyptian Theater, potentially at the DeKalb Farmers Market.
Yes.
But as we continue to move forward, since we can't be open to the public, we still wanted a way to kind of share the Egyptian Theater experience with everyone. So stay tuned. Once we get this bad boy up and running.
Yeah, we'll see how good we make popcorn. And then, yes, we absolutely want to sell our popcorn, our kettle corn, as well as all of our new merchandise right outside under our marquee during the farmers market.
Yeah, so the other thing in concessions here, last week they were just finishing up the tile work. They now have all of the tile work complete here, both with kind of the base here, but this gorgeous glass. I think last week we revealed it for the very first time, maybe 2 weeks ago at the most. But this was just absolutely stunning to see down here.
Yeah.
Way better in person, so we can't wait for everybody to come and see it in person. But it's got this really cool kind of antique-y, smoky glass look to it, so ties in really well with all the quartz countertops and all the other details that are happening around the concession stand.
Yeah, and with the crown molding and where the placement of the concession stand is, it just looks like it was meant to be in this part of the building. It really does. It makes, and especially the mirrored effect makes this space just seem that much bigger. It tricks your eye into thinking that it just goes on forever, which is really nice. And the reflections you're getting with the lighting, we can't wait to see it with the up lighting that we have. This cove lighting behind the crown molding is really just going to make this concession stand more of an accent piece, because yeah, we obviously want to bring you guys concessions, sell you guys popcorn and adult beverages and candy, but we also want it to, again, make it feel like it should be here, should be part of the Egyptian Theater, and this definitely will be a focal point of our new first.
So do we have any questions so far?
No, everyone's really excited for popcorn though.
All right.
And we concur. We can't concorn.
So they've been finishing up baseboard trim down here. The 3 new columns now have baseboard on them, finishing up around the rest of the first floor here. The other big thing that just happened this week is the bathroom doors have gone on, and these have kind of a fun story. We've talked about this in the past, but it's been quite a while now. So the original bathroom doors, which looked almost exactly like these, but they were skinnier and they did not meet current code, so we could not reuse those, nor did we want to if they didn't meet current ADA standards. So we had to go to a bigger door, but we really wanted to keep as much of the history as we could. So we were able to, not us personally, but
we did it.
These ornamental pieces from the door were harvested from the original door, as well as this glass and the pole hardware that's not on here yet, but that's going to be going on the door. That's all from that as well. So even though this is a new, bigger door, we were able to use some pieces. So I think that's really cool that we've got glass and other pieces in a new door that are original, and kind of a little throwback to the doors, the restrooms that we had before.
We showed you guys before the new ADA signage that we'll have that
looks like, again, it's meant to be part of the Egyptian, but if you see these little boxes, boo, 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 we had those light up signs that were quite small and kind of lost where the old bathrooms were, but they were original. So they say ladies and men's, and they will still be going up along with ADA compliant signs that will have Braille, that'll be a bit more visible, because we always get the question, do you guys have bathrooms here? We do. They're going to be better, and they're going to be better signed, so you can be able to find the bathrooms when you're here.
So anything else here on the first floor?
No, everyone's excited, and Sue says my jokes are corny, and you are correct, Mitch.
All right, well, let's head up to the second floor.
Yeah.
As we referenced just a little bit ago, the DeKalb Farmers Market that takes place on Thursdays is going to get underway this week.
Thursday.
Correct? Yep, this Thursday. And that runs from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Correct.
I believe, in the Van Buren Plaza, directly across the street from the Egyptian Theater. And so even with COVID going on, they want to make sure, provide for the community fresh produce. And so we always love this time of year when the farmers market opens. So even though we're not able to host our live lunch music series this year because of COVID, The farmers market will still be open starting this Thursday and every Thursday through the rest of the summer. And hopefully, if things start to get a little bit better as the summer goes on, we might be able to introduce some music. But stay tuned. If we get this whole popcorn thing figured out, we'll be popping into the farmers market.
Be popping for sure.
Yeah. So up here, we had talked about they were starting to stage for plaster work. And they actually got a ton of plaster work done here this past week. I'll let Janine kind of
The expanded foyer,
Showcase.
a little Vanna White.
Yes, but again, we've talked about, again,
Excuse our technical plaster terms. Notice how there's a swirl along with a smudge. Technical plasterwork terms. However, we've talked about it before, it's hard to perfectly create imperfection, but they've done a very good job of giving this kind of sweeping effect with a bit of the raised plaster without it being too spiky, without it being too sweepy. I feel like we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of this. But again, they've been fantastic. They've been really collaborative and coming to us and saying, does this look like you guys want it to look? And they've absolutely, in our opinion, nailed it. And again, it's going to get painted, so it's going to show more of that texture when you get Conrad Schmidt in here really putting the paint color and the glaze on top. It's just going to make that texture pop and again, make this room look like it was part of the Egyptian theater since 1929.
And did you know, Janine, that this style is kind of like a magic eye? So when you stare at it, scarab beetles pop out at you. No?
That's good. I believe it. I believe it. So look hard.
Actually, what I think you need to do is you have to make sure you buy plenty of concessions and then stare at the wall. And only over a certain dollar amount do you really get the full effect.
I was going to say only up to a certain amount of liquor. Then you start seeing the Beatles. Be the Beatles, feel the Beatles, see the Beatles. Yeah, guys, it's exciting plaster times.
Now we need a Beatles tribute show here.
We do.
So, yes. So upstairs here in the expanded foyer, they've got this long wall, the texture completely done. They've started base coating some of the other walls. I'll let Brandon go over and show some of the ornamental cove up here that they are casting away. So as they move up here towards the end of this week, they will start installing that ornamental plaster cove around the ceiling here. So this will get that recessed LED lighting and then that ornamental plaster cove.
And talking about that ornamental plaster cove, so when we were in the downstairs lobby, we didn't raise the ceiling. We couldn't raise the ceiling because of the ground we're standing on right now, in the mezzanine. And I kept saying, I bet you people are going to think we raised the ceiling. So Brandon welcomed in about 9 of our volunteers for an intimate tour for them to see, Alex breaking stuff, to see what the progress has been so far. And we had a couple of them go, oh, you raised the ceiling. And I was like, we didn't, but it totally looks like it. Then unplug this.
Yeah.
And we're back, guys. Our mic pack died, so the show will go on, and we'll just talk loudly at you. Can you hear us now? Can you give us a thumbs up, something or another? Maybe? Yes? No? Maybe so? We could just like mime it.
Should be live now.
It should be good.
Yeah,
We're good.
maybe. Nobody's responding.
Someone gave us a like. So yes, thank you for the thumbs up. We shall continue on the tour, just being loud and with decorative mics.
Yes. So the expanded foyer and the mezzanine is really going to be the focus over the next couple of weeks here. So as they start to finish out the plaster work up here on the second floor, on Monday they're going to be starting with the painting on the first floor. So that will be starting this coming Monday, as well as a lot of the food service equipment is going to be coming in on Monday and start getting installed this next week. So we're going to be able to show you a little bit better what the concession stands and the bars and all of that stuff is going to look like as the equipment starts to come in. And we haven't been able to show you because it's been a work in progress. Maybe we'll post some photos on Instagram and stuff. You always talk about our Instagram story.
Yes.
But the alley outside, some of the exterior with the lights, permanent alleyway, the dirt and everything else around our entrance, all of that is starting to get finalized. So check out our Instagram stories. Janine does a great job of keeping up to date with all the little stuff that's going on there.
You'll see us doing popcorn stuff today because we have Brandon cleaning it. We did a deep clean of the kettle before we did any popping. So stay tuned to Instagram stories. You'll get more of the latest up to date. And the painting, guys, that's really we're going to be posting because it's my favorite part. It's again how they custom color to match, you know, paint that's been up for now 30 years, in some cases 90 years, is pretty amazing. So stay tuned. It's going to be exciting to watch.
So really the last thing up here, if you want to go down to the restrooms, those doors got on today
Yes,
as well.
they did.
I'll let you lead the way in.
Lead the way. So as you can see, we're slowly, it doesn't look like it, but I swear it's slowly getting picked up. As people are taking up bigger boxes. We had some planning tables that have been moved out. So look at our doors. Ding, ding.
A lot of baseboard trim going on up here.
So we didn't use the glass, they recreated them, as you can see, pretty much identically. Again, we want this to feel like it's always been part of the Egyptian theater, and same with that same type of rippled glass, the same color tone. It kind of has an ambery color to make it look like it's all this cohesive part, this cohesive building. And then we have our new janitor's closet. So we, in the past, there's a teeny tiny closet inside the men's bathroom there. Kind of a hassle if you have to get in and get a mop bucket, which there's no mop sink up here. Now there is. If there's a line for the men's bathroom, you're like, excuse me, I just need to get a bottle of Windex real quick. We'd have to have someone who's a male staff or wait for someone to not be in there. So it just was kind of inconvenient, to say the least. So now we've moved it outside of the bathrooms. So our building and ground supervisor, Mike, will have a much easier time moving around, getting to supplies he needs, because sometimes it's Murphy's Law. There's something that's going to happen in the midst of a show, and now we can just get without having to disrupt any of our patrons. So we're really excited about that, and especially the door. The color tone of the doors has really just tied everything together nicely. So head back down this way. See that carpet coming up, more baseboards going down. Very exciting.
So you can follow all of this progress here on Facebook as well as on Twitter, Instagram. We're going to get a little more active on TikTok, maybe, potentially. We'll see. We keep dipping our toes into it.
We're going to be cool. We've
Yes.
got like 3 posts, and one of them is kind of ghosty, so if you're into that, follow us. We're at Egyptian Theater on TikTok.
There you go. But the biggest thing, you can follow the progress of this project on our website. Super easy. You can go to lightscameradonate.org. That's where you can support this project. As a nonprofit organization, we need your support to make sure that your Egyptian theater is here for another 90 years, and this project is going to allow to make sure that when we get past COVID, that the Egyptian theater is going to be stronger than it's ever been. And we want to thank everyone that has supported this project so far. We continue to be overwhelmed with the support that we get for this project. So thank you so much. If you haven't donated yet, we would greatly appreciate your support. support, again, you can go to lightscameradonate.org, make a donation online that is tax deductible as a nonprofit organization. So we always talk about, this is not our Egyptian theater, this truly is your Egyptian theater. This is one of only 7 Egyptian theaters left in the entire United States. There used to be over 100 back in the 20s and 30s. And so when we talk about this being the jewel of DeKalb, this really is a national treasure, and we feel so fortunate that this was saved in 1978.
Yes.
Is still here, has survived through the Great Depression, World War II, so many other historic moments, and we will get through COVID.
Yes.
And we will reopen, and we want to make sure that you can come and join us. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and where can people join us again?
They can join us next Tuesday at 5:30 right here on Facebook. And again, check our Insta stories all day, every day, because you never know what's going to be posted. They might be wacky. We're wacky people. But you'll get to see the latest up to date. And again, stay tuned to our website and our Facebook page for any up to date information regarding shows, regarding when we're rebooking stuff, if we're announcing stuff, because we say we're taking it one day at a time. Things change. It seems almost on the daily. So to be the most up to date and to know what events are happening when, or what refunds or what reschedulings or anything like that, just check our Facebook page and our website. That is going to have the most up-to-date information. And if you want to give us a call, just want to talk, see what's up going on with the expansion, or any questions you may have, 815-758-1215. We'd love to talk to you. So we'll see you next Tuesday.
5:30 p.m.
5:30 p.m. We'll be here.
Right back here on Facebook.
Woo!
So have a great night.
See ya.